What's up, guys? Hey, this is Christian Brindle with Six Figure Medicare Agent. Hope this video finds you doing well. And we're back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about, I've been a top producing agent for 5 different Medicare Advantage companies in my career personally, like writing business myself. Several of them multiple times over. And people ask me how I did it, right? Like, how did you be a top producer so many times over, so consistently? A couple of those companies, I've been top producer for them every single year that I'm in the business practically. And people ask, how do you do it? 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 There's a lot of reasons and a lot of things that I could essentially pinpoint and point to and say, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do X, Y, Z. But there's one thing in particular that I feel like is probably the most understandable and the easiest to transmit to you in a short little 8 to 10 minute video. But before I get into that, guys, I got to talk to you guys about this video's sponsor, and that is Lead Heroes, guys. Lead Heroes has got you covered when it comes to telemarketing leads. They essentially have trained and proficient telemarketers that you can essentially just plug into their system, whether it be a custom calling campaign to where you're paying their telemarketers by the hour, or even if they're just paying per lead. It's something, they have something for everybody, guys, whether it be final expense leads, Medicare supplement leads, turning 65 leads. They really do a great job. We do a lot of business with them. Just because you watch this video, they're going to give you 10% off any order on their website. The link to their website can be found down in the description, as well as a coupon code for 10% off, so give them a shot. So, guys, what is that one thing? Right? If I had to just say one particular thing that separates the top producers from the agents that never really get that or never really accomplish a feat like that. Not to say that I'm the best agent out there, I'm the best producing agent out there. There's certainly agents out there that write a lot more business than me. But I'm probably in the top 1% of individual agents in terms of just individual production. And the main thing that I would say that is vital, that you have to nail, and it took me a lot longer than I would like to admit for me to nail it. It took me a couple of years, but not all activity is created equal. Let me explain. Sometimes you can feel like, okay, I'm working 12 to 15 hours a day on my business. I'm doing all these things. I'm working hard. Why aren't I writing a bunch? Right? Why aren't I writing? Right? Why am I not producing as much as I feel like I need to? And that's because there's certain types of work you can do in your business, and all of it does matter, right? You need to learn things. You need to do training. You need to make sure your contracts are in order. You need to make sure that everything's set up the way you want it to. You need to make sure that, your online presence is the way you want it to be. You want to make sure your website is in order, your Facebook page. All that stuff is important, but is it more important than getting in front of clients, getting in front of customers, getting in front of prospects? No, it's absolutely not. Not at all. You should be spending 80% of your time talking to prospective customers when you're at the beginning and building your business. If you're spending more time doing trainings, right? If you're spending prime hours of the day, prime selling times of the day, doing trainings, creating content. I'm a big believer in creating content, but you should be doing it in the off time, right? On weekends, in the evenings, times that you can't make sales typically. If you're spending your prime time hours filling out contracts during the middle of the day, guys, don't be doing this. This is the main reason why agents fail, in my opinion. Now, I think there's a lot of reasons. I think it's lack of training, lack of motivation, people get in for the wrong reasons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. However, if you're not spending 80% of your time and all of your prime time selling hours, I would say your prime time selling hours are probably going to be between your typical 9 to 5 every day. If you're not spending those hours and that time in front of prospective customers, in front of potential clients, then you're going to lose. You're going to fail. You have to be having income producing conversations, client generating conversations with prospective customers, and you need to be doing it in massive volume, massive numbers every single week. That is how you be a top producer. It's not that difficult. You need to have a lot of appointments in your schedule. You need to have a lot of appointments in your schedule from the time you start working to the time you stop working, and all the rest of the stuff can be handled outside of that time period. All the rest of that stuff can be handled in the off hours, in the time that's not prime time selling hours. And this is what agents fail to understand. There's so often where I'll talk to an agent, and I talk to many agents every single week, but I'll talk to an agent that I talk to them about their day. I talk to them about what their schedule looks like and what they do over the course of the week when they come to me and they're like, I'm not writing enough business. Well, they're spent at 11 o'clock in the day, they're writing a blog. 10, 11 o'clock in the day, they're working on their website. 10, 11 o'clock in the day, they're setting up their Facebook page. 10, 11 o'clock in the day, they're doing a 2 or 3 hour training that isn't mandatory. Guys, this is stupid. This is crazy. 10, 11 o'clock in the day, you should be trying to meet with a client or customer or making outbound phone calls, calling leads, trying to get somebody on the phone when you're a new agent. You need to be having client-generated or income-producing conversations with people in bulk over the course of time. That's what I can tell you guys. And once you figure that out, you can be a top producer and you can write as much insurance and much business as you potentially want to do, depending on how much time you want to put in. This is vital. Now, some of the other stuff's about efficiency and all those things. That stuff is important. That stuff is vital. Really, once you start having less and less time at your disposal, when you go from a new agent to an experienced agent, then you want to start looking into processes that can essentially save you time, like maybe hiring a telemarketer, having people run your ads for you, running ads in general, right? Like having more automation set up. All that stuff is important. But when you're new, you don't want to be spending your prime time hours setting up all these things. You do it in the off time. You do it in the evening. You do it in the morning when nobody's awake. You do it on the weekends. But during your prime time, focus on selling. Focus on having income-producing activities, client-generated conversations, and that should be all that you do, or 80% to 90% of what you do during the course of the week, during the day. And that's the main thing, guys, that you need to understand. Not all activity is created equal, and not all activity is going to produce revenue or money for your business. You need to make sure that you spend most of your time on that income-producing activities and do the other stuff in the off time. Make sure that you have your calendar disciplined and focus on getting in front of new clients and doing it at scale and volume. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was a message that people needed to hear. I feel like agents really need to understand this because not all activity is created equal. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video, comment what you think about it. Am I right about this? Am I wrong about this? Do you have a follow-up question for me? Let's have a dialogue. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you're notified when we upload, and we'll see you next time. Here's to your success and your abundance.